As part of the BBB Wise Giving Alliance Building Trust series, we're here with Peter Bale, CEO, Center for Public Integrity. Tell us what the Center for Public Integrity does and the scope of its work.
We have around 50 investigative journalists who work every day to uncover injustice, inequality, and the impact of money on politics. They work particularly in money and politics. They work on business stories about the influence of business and politics, and they work on the environment. What's also interesting for us is that we look at juvenile justice and national security, and money is pervasive through all of those areas, and it's usually about special interest groups trying to influence decisions of government or trying to influence regulation that covers us all, really.
It seems like the problems your organization addresses are becoming more prevalent. Is that true, or are we just more informed?
Well, I think there's a risk actually that we're less informed, so the importance of journalism has never been greater in this. I mean, you can be advocates and campaign for this, but unless you do the digging work that's required of investigative journalism, you just don't really find out what's going on. And there are systemic issues, particularly since the Citizens United case with the Supreme Court. You know, the amount of money flowing into politics is enormous, and it has a huge impact on the decisions, on regulation, and on the protection of ordinary people. And so it is. We are looking at systemic problems that are caused by the influence of money in politics. So, with any luck, we are making it more evident. But I think there's a lot to go, and investigative journalism really has an important role in exposing those problems.
Do you have any advice for us to consider this election season?
I think there's a couple of things, really. It's interesting because you have a leading contender at the moment who's financing his own campaign, but there is a phenomenal amount of special interest money still going into the campaigns of everybody, really, and you're seeing that directed. If you look at our site, you can see how it's being directed and who's trying to influence whom. We've also noted a very big shift towards state governments, with Washington in lockdown, really, the difficulty of getting anything achieved through the House. There's a huge amount of lobbying money and political money moving into the states. And the states are often very poor, very challenged when it comes to dealing with the possibility of corruption or the possibility of misuse of money.
As an organization that has integrity in its mission, how do you go about assuring that your donors see you as a trustworthy organization?
Well, I think we have to stick to journalism. We don't go into advocacy. We do pure, really very pure investigative journalism that takes time. We also have to be very transparent. I mean, in our dealings with our donors, we're extremely transparent about where the money comes from, what our mission is, and how we differentiate from the interests of some of those philanthropic groups from the journalism itself. We have a very independent approach to what we cover and how we cover it.